Welcome to today's lesson. Welcome to today's lesson. Welcome to today's lesson, students, viewers, guests, and anyone who sees the need to watch this lesson and watch all our videos. Please feel free to watch all our videos. Please feel free to consume all the knowledge that you can with respect to this program. Feel free to scroll around our YouTube channel. Feel free to watch however and whenever you want. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like our page, and don't forget to make comments with respect to whatever you want to talk about in relation to this content. So, welcome to today's lesson. In today's lesson, we are going to be focusing on basic navigations of productivity software called PowerPoint. And this is our weekly one learning unit throughout our weekly learning units. So, welcome to today's lesson once again. So, what are we going to do in today's lesson? In today's lesson, we are going to be looking at the points that are staring at your face right now within this productivity software. We're going to be looking at those. We're going to be looking firstly, we're going to be looking at what the menu bar is. We'll then go on to look at what a ribbon, what a slide pane, what Workspace is, what navigation buttons are, and shortcuts. This is what we're going to be looking at. Then within the menu bar, we will be looking at creating a new presentation, opening an existing presentation. We will be looking at how to save presentations. We'll be looking at how to print a presentation, how to share a presentation with others, and we'll also be looking at exporting, how to export a presentation within the menu bar. And within the ribbon will be teaching us what is a home button, the formats and the text, how to adjust layouts and insert tables, etc. And inserts, throughout the ribbon we will find tabs. Within the tabs, we are going to be looking at what is a home tab is, what an insert tab is, what a design tab is, what a transitions tab is, what a slideshow tab is, what a review tab is, and what our view tab is. And within a slide panel, we'll be looking at what slide thumbnails are, and also slide order, and also slide selection. These are the lessons we will be covering throughout our presentation, throughout our learning unit today. We'll also be looking at the workspace, including components of the workspace, which would be our slide area, our notes pane, and also our slide tab. And we'll also continue with our navigations button to be looking at what next slide, how to move on to the next slide, how to move on to the previous slide, how to go to the first slide and how to go to the last slide. And finally, in today's lesson, we will be looking at shortcuts, how we use shortcuts to navigate through our presentation. We'll be looking at those in today's lesson. So, without wasting any time, let's get to work. Right, let's start with our first item on the menu, which is the menu bar. The menu bar. With the menu bar, we are going to be looking at the first point, going to be looking at creating a new presentation. Let's start looking at creating a new presentation. How are we going to create a new presentation? First and foremost, you have to be at your desktop. That's point number one. You need to be at your desktop, and this is your desktop right here. This is your desktop. You already know this, we've covered this, but this is your desktop, right? So how do we create a new presentation with PowerPoint? First and foremost, you need to access your start button. Right here is your start button. You already know this as well. Then how do we find our PowerPoint? We need to search for it here. That's option number one. How to searching it through the search option, or looking for it through our start menu. So we're going to be looking for our PowerPoint through our start menu. This is our PowerPoint. And we click on this, and then we wait for it to open up. And once it finally opens up, then we will have a new presentation. We would have opened a new PowerPoint. This is us having opened a PowerPoint, and in this option we are creating a new presentation. These are template presentations. You also have the option of taking one of these as a starting point presentation, or you can continue to create your new presentation. And when you create your new presentation, this is what you click right here. You click on new. Then once you click on new, you then click on a blank presentation, or you click on these various template designs that you can use to create your presentation. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on any. Okay, let's for easy referencing, let's just use a blank presentation. Now we've just created a new presentation. Now we just created a new presentation. You can see the document's name is presentation 2. So this is how we create a new presentation. Now let's go ahead and close it. And let's go ahead and close it. We closed it. Never mind that one. That one is the presentation that I'm using to present to you. Now we want to know how to open an existing presentation. How do we open an existing presentation? First and foremost, we are going to come back here. Then look for our presentation through our start menu. Then click on it, and then once we click on it, we wait for it to open. As usual, it will open. Now it opened. Here it is. And now once it opened, we then click on open here. Remember, we are opening an existing presentation, right? We are opening an existing presentation. So your presentation, for example, you will have to access your presentation in a location known by you. If you're opening an existing document, it means you already know where that document is. For example, let me make things easier for you. This is my presentation. This is a presentation that I was using. This is a presentation that I was using. This is a presentation. So this being the presentation that I was using. This being the presentation that I was using, I want to save it so that we can be able to locate it. And then once we locate it, we will then be able to open it as an existing document. So like I said, always when you are saving, click on browse. Okay, no. My apologies. I'm not doing right. So, when you want, I firstly want to save it. I saved it, and I want to save it, so I'm saving it. I saved it. Here, I saved it. Yeah, I saved it. Did I save it? Okay, let me save it from scratch. Let me save it from scratch. I'm gonna say save as. Always when you're saving a document or your presentations, always make sure that you're saving them in a location that you will be able to locate them. So click on this PC all the time, and then once you click on this PC, depending on wherever you want to save it, make sure that you save it in a location that you will be able to access it. Right now, I'm saving it in my documents here, and I just clicked my documents, and then this is my document name that I want to name it. And then this is going to be where the document will be saved, because remember, once I clicked on this document, it opened this window up. This window is the documents folder that will be the location of the document. So I'm just going to click on save. Then it's telling me that it already exists, but I just replaced it nonetheless. Now I saved it. Now I'm going to close this. I'm closing, and now I want us to open it, since we are opening an existing document. There are two ways. The first way, there are actually three ways. The first way, number one, is to click on folders, then manually locate your document. For one, once you click on folders, the first option, I'm showing you the first option, then we're going to be looking at the second option and the third option. Now the first option is to open it manually by clicking on folders, on file option, file explore. This is our file explore, and then once you click on file explore, then click on documents, because we saved it in documents. And then once we click on documents, we are now going to have to look for it. The document name, this is the document that we are looking for. Then we are going to open it. By double clicking it, we are opening it, and then it's going to open, and then we would have found our existing document. That is option number one. I'm just waiting for it to open, and then I'm going to show you that this is the document that we're working with. You see, this is the document that we were working with. Still loading. My computer is a bit slow, but this is the document that we were working with. You can see it. Let me maximize it so that it's clear. Yeah, this is the document that we were working with. Now I'm closing it. That was option number 1 on how to open it. Now I'm going to show you another option of opening the document. Another option of opening the document is also to open it manually, like this. You click on File Explore. Once you click on File Explore, you wait for your file. So once you click on your File Explore, you wait for your files to open. Now my files have opened. Now we have another option, which is the second option that I said I'm going to show you. You click on Once you click on File Explore, you will see your recent files. This option here enables you to find files that you had recently opened, and this is the document that we had recently opened right here. So if your computer's programming is set to enable you to see recent files, you will be able to see this option here. And then you can just be able to open it by clicking on it, and then the document will load. Then once the document is loaded, then the document is now opened. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. We are waiting for the document to open. I just clicked. I didn't double click. That's the reason. I one click. I just made a single click instead of double clicking. And this is the document that we are looking for. This is another option that we are looking at. Now let's close it. And finally, the last option is to go on to your document and open it through within the app. You're going to open it within the app. Just click on your start button so that you can get your start menu. And then once you get your start menu, just click on PowerPoint. Then once you click on PowerPoint, the PowerPoint will load. And then once the program loads, then all you have to do is open the file, because we are opening existing files. We were exploring how to open existing files. We were just waiting for it to load. Like I said, my computer is slow. You'll have to be patient with me. Now we can just go ahead and click on open. Right, let's continue with the lesson. Now that we've seen how we can open an existing document, let's continue to, at the same time, we are also looking at how we can save a document. We looked at how we can open a document, and at the same time, we were looking at how we can save a document. So let's look at how we can print this presentation. In order for us to print this presentation, we need to locate files. This is files. You click on files. My computer is very slow. Yes, my computer is slow, so it's giving me tough time. So you click on file. Once you click on file, you then go on to print here. This is where you print your presentation. Then once you click on print, you wait for it to open printing options. Now that it opened printing options, then you just select your printer here. Then once you select your printer here, you just print. And that's how you print a presentation. Now let's look at how we can share our presentation. You also come back to file. Once you come to file, you click on share. Now it's going to give you options. You see, these are options that you can use to share. You can invite people, you can share it via email, you can present it online, or you can publish your slides. That's how you share your document. And now let's look at how you can be able to export it. What does exporting mean? And how do you export it? You export it on this option here. This is what we call our menu bar. This is our menu bar, and we're looking at the menu bar like the presentation suggested. We are looking at the menu bar. So in order for us to be able to export it, you can just come here and then click on export. Now once you click on export, you have an option here. You have options to create it in PDF, in a PDF document, or you can create a video of the presentation. You can also package the presentation into a CD, and you can also create handouts, and you can also change the file type to whatever file you want to change it to. You can see you can change it into PNG, JPEG, option. It's giving you a lot of options for you to choose. So that's how you can be able to export it. And also, finally, yeah, that's basically what our menu bar is. Don't forget, this is our menu bar. Through this file option, we find our menu bar. This is our menu bar, right? Now, let's go on to our next item, which is our ribbons. Through the ribbon, this is something, right? Through our ribbon, this is our, we are now going to be looking at a ribbon and what a ribbon is. We covered this in our previous lesson. We covered a ribbon. This is what our ribbon is, right here. Through this is our ribbon, right? And through our ribbon, we are going to find these options here. These are our tabs here. These are our tabs. So through the ribbon, we find tabs, and tabs are within tabs we will be able to find groups within tabs. For example, with each tab there are groups of related comments. The first tab is the home tab. Right, this is our home tab, and this is the tab that we've opened right here. This is the home tab. Then this is the insert tab. Okay, first it's through the home tab. Through the home tab, this is where we are going to be finding our format text theme. Format text. We find our format text, we find our adjusting layout through the home tab. We also find inserting options through the home tab. For example, we'll find inserting tables. This is our inserting. We find insert table, tab. Like I said, through every tab comes groups. These are groups. The groups of home tab, these are groups. And the groups of insert tab, these are groups. The groups of design, these are groups. The groups of transitions, these are groups, and so forth and so forth and so forth. So these are groups. So these are our tabs, and within each tabs you find groups. And our tabs are located within our ribbon. Collectively, this is called a ribbon. And these are our tabs, and within tabs you find groups. That you find groups. So for example, like I said, through the home tab, this is where you're going to be able to find your text, format text. Say for example, you want to format this text here. You're going to be using the home tab. Let me show you something. If you want to format this entire tab text, because remember, through the home tab you will be finding that's where you're going to be finding your text, and you're adjusting layouts, and you're inserting tables and pictures and so forth through the ribbon. And this is where you're going to be able to edit your text. You can just come here, then this is where you're going to find your font type. Then this is where you're going to find your font size, and this is where you will find your under the group paragraphs group. Again, there's a styles. Firstly, there's clipboard where you copy and paste, right? Then there are slides here. These are your slides options. This is your slides group and your font. This is your font groups where you find you are able to choose the font types, the size. Where you are able to bold the text, make it italic, underline it, or text shadow, including sizing it, because these are going to enable you to size your text, including uh, sentencing cases, lowering cases, upper cases, capitalizing each word, and also toggle case. Then also coloring and clear or formatting. So this is another, this all falls under your font group. And then you have your paragraphs group where you will be able to find your bullets, your numbering, and your alignments. These are your alignments. They all fall under your, your paragraph. And then this is drawing, where you will be able to insert your shapes and you arrange your objects, and also where you'll be able to rearrange, change your shape fields and shape outline and shape effects. These falls under your drawing, and then you finally have your editing, where you'll be able to edit your document. These all fall under your home tab. Then when you come to insert tab, the insert tab consists of its own groups as well. This is where you'll be able to insert your tables or insert a new slide or pictures through the device or online pictures, or even take a screenshot, and even including inserting a photo album. Then under your illustrations, you'll find your shapes and your smart art and your charts. And then under your add-ins, this is where you're going to be buying stuff so that you can customize your document with them. Then your links is where you're going to be inserting your hyperlinks and also your actions. And this is where you're going to be placing your comments. And additionally, through text, this is where you're going to be inserting your headers, your footers, your text box, and your word art, and your date. So you need to pay attention over these groups. They are not just here to beautify the program. No, they are here for your usage, for your utilization. You have to utilize them at all costs. You can be able to insert equations and symbols, mathematical equations. This is where you're going to be inserting them. Your symbols, this is where you're going to be inserting them. You can be able to insert a video over your presentation, including audio as well, and including screen recording. So you have to utilize all these, and this is why you'll find it in your insert options. Then when it comes to design, this is where they're giving you themes and variants. Then you can also be able to customize them. So you're going to be able to utilize this. And then when it comes to transitions, this is where you're going to find transition to this slide. PowerPoint programs are basically highly dependent on your ability to utilize them. The more you are able to utilize them, it's the beauty. It's the more, okay, it will beautify your presentation, number one. Secondly, it, it seriously provides you with all the necessary skills for you to be able to utilize the program. So this is going to be a transition slide, and when it comes to animations, it's going to be your animations slides, your add, if you want to add something, animations, you're going to be doing that. Then yes, so slideshow, this is your slideshow where you are going to be playing your presentation. Now you play it so that you can be able to provide a professional presentation without having to present your rough work. And as for review, you're going to be finding your proofing, your language, your comments, and you will be able to compare as well. And then your view, you're going to find your views groups. These are your view tabs groups. And finally, your format. And then in your format, you will find all your format groups where you're inserting shapes, inserting shape styles, inserting word art styles, and then also arranging them, and then also sizing. So these are what we call located within your ribbon. We're dealing with the ribbon. Now let's go on to the slide panel. Let's go on to the slide panel. What is a slide panel? This is your slide panel here. This is your slide panel. This option here. These are your slides. These are your slides, and collectively they are held within the slide panel. So within the slide panel, it shows us our presentations. See, this is our first page. Then the slide panel is showing us all our thumbnails. We can be able to hide them like this, or we can be able to show them like this. So these, for example, this is the order of the presentation. This is the order of the presentation. If you want to, say for example, you want to rearrange them, you can do that by simply dragging them like this. See, since we dragged it, it now is our first slide. But originally this was our first slide, and this is our first slide because it's the one that's telling us how our slide will be coming orderly. This is the order of our slide. So since menu bar is our second slide, navigation button is not. So this is our menu bar slide. Then it's the second slide. Uh, our navigate our